In the quiet heathlands of Lower Saxony, a new kind of fortress is rising, not of stone, but steel and industry. This is Rheinmetall's new ammunition plant in Unterlüss, Germany, a symbol of Europe's changing mindset. The factory is a direct response to the hard lessons learned since February 2022, when peace in Europe was revealed to be fragile. For decades, Germany and much of Europe believed economic ties would prevent war, but Russia's invasion of Ukraine shattered that illusion. Suddenly, national security became urgent and real, and Europe's dangerously low ammunition stockpiles were exposed. The Unterlüss factory is more than a building. It's a monument to a new pragmatic era, what Chancellor Olaf Scholz calls the Zeitenwende, or turning of the times. Germany is stepping up, signaling to NATO and the EU that it's ready to lead in European security. The plant will produce the artillery shells that have become the currency of modern warfare, vital for Ukraine and for Europe's own defense. By building this facility, Germany sends a message to allies: we are ready. To adversaries, Europe is rebuilding its strength. The factory's impact extends beyond Germany, replenishing the stocks of many European nations and reducing dependence on the United States. It's a move towards strategic autonomy, seen as essential in an unpredictable world. The Unterlüss plant embodies Europe's quest for self-reliance in a turbulent century. It's a public acknowledgement that security now demands a strong industrial backbone. The decision to invest in defense is no longer a relic of the past, but a necessity for the future. Europe is building not just weapons, but resilience. The new fortress is one of steel, industry, and resolve. Before 2022, a major land war in Europe seemed unthinkable. European nations had downsized their militaries and defense industries, cashing in the peace dividend, stockpiles dwindled, and production lines for essentials like artillery shells were shut down. Russia's invasion of Ukraine was a brutal wake-up call. The war quickly became an artillery duel, with Ukraine's survival hinging on Western ammunition. European warehouses emptied fast, revealing just how unprepared the continent was. Annual shell production in some countries couldn't match a single week of Ukraine's needs. The US stepped in, but the crisis exposed Europe's critical vulnerability, a lack of industrial capacity for sustained conflict. Military strength, it turned out, depended on the unglamorous reality of having enough bullets and shells. The ammunition shortage created urgency from Berlin to Warsaw. Leaders realized they could no longer rely solely on diplomacy or the US security umbrella. Rebuilding Europe's defense industry became a top priority, with the Unterlüss factory as its most prominent result. The war in Ukraine forced Europe to act fast. The Rheinmetall factory in Unterlüss is massive, spanning 240 hectares, or about 336 football fields. With a €300 million investment, it's a clear sign that underinvestment in defense is over. The plant's goal: produce 155 mm artillery shells, the NATO standard. Once fully operational, it will churn out 200,000 shells a year, more than many countries' entire pre-war output. Production will ramp up from 50,000 shells in the first year to full capacity soon after. The factory also makes explosives and rocket artillery components, creating a comprehensive munitions hub. By producing everything on site, Rheinmetall reduces reliance on fragile global supply chains. This vertical integration ensures resilience in times of crisis. The plant is a self-contained ecosystem for ammunition manufacturing. It's also an economic boon, creating 500 skilled jobs in the rural Chell district. The project revitalizes a historic arms manufacturing site with new technology and opportunity. For the community, it means stability and a direct link to national security. Unterlüss is where local industry meets Europe's defense needs. The Unterlüss factory is remarkable for its speed, breaking Germany's reputation for slow bureaucracy. Ground was broken in February 2024, with the first shells expected by 2025. Political will and innovative construction methods made this possible. The government streamlined approvals, embracing Deutschlandgeschwindigkeit, Germany speed. Rheinmetall used modular construction, assembling prefabricated sections on site for rapid progress. The factory will be state-of-the-art, with automation and digital twin technology optimizing production. Robots will handle dangerous tasks, boosting safety and efficiency. The goal: one of the world's most modern ammunition plants. Unterlüss could become a model for future German and European projects. It shows that, when challenged, Germany can deliver complex infrastructure at record pace. The question is whether this agility will become the new norm, or remain an exception. The success of Unterlüss may inspire similar approaches in other critical sectors. Germany is proving it can be both meticulous and fast, when it matters most. The main argument for Unterlüss is deterrence. Strength prevents conflict. By producing its own ammunition, Europe signals it's ready for a long fight and can't be easily exhausted. A well-stocked arsenal makes potential aggressors think twice. This is peace through strength, a necessary correction after years of neglect. The war in Ukraine proved that economic power alone isn't enough. Military capacity matters. The factory is about preventing war, not just preparing for it. But there are risks. A military buildup could trigger an arms race, the classic security dilemma. What Europe sees as defense, others may see as provocation. Russia could respond by ramping up its own production, raising tensions. Critics warn of shifting from pacifism to risky hyper-militarization. The challenge balanced deterrence with diplomacy to avoid escalation. Supporters, from political leaders to NATO officials, see Unterlüss as essential for European security and solidarity. They argue it's a practical solution to a critical shortfall exposed by the war in Ukraine. The factory is seen as a step toward strategic autonomy, not aggression. Critics, including peace activists and environmentalists, warn it fuels militarization and diverts funds from social needs. Protests have called for diplomacy over arms. Some fear the growing influence of the arms industry and a permanent war economy. They demand more public oversight and debate about Europe's direction. The question remains, is this the only path to lasting peace? Unterlüss is not just about security, it's a major economic event. The 300 million euros investment creates 500 skilled jobs and anchors industrial expertise in rural Germany. The factory stimulates a network of suppliers, benefiting companies across Europe. Advanced manufacturing and dual-use innovation boost Germany's industrial leadership. Rheinmetall is experiencing unprecedented growth, securing massive contracts and investing in R&D. The defense boom is a centerpiece of its expansion. But some economists argue defense spending is less productive than investing in education or green tech. Critics worry about over-reliance on a war economy. The challenge balanced security investments with priorities for long-term sustainable growth. Germany must ensure prosperity isn't tied only to arms. Rheinmetall's expansion, led by Unterlüss, is reshaping the global arms market. Europe now has a powerful alternative to American suppliers, boosting competition and strategic autonomy. This strengthens Europe's ability to act independently and responsibly on the world stage. The shift could alter the transatlantic relationship, making Europe a more equal partner to the US. For the US, a stronger Europe means a more capable ally, not just a dependent one. Globally, increased ammunition production could make weapons more available, raising concerns about arms exports. But a secure Europe is less likely to draw in other global powers. Rheinmetall's rise is a geopolitical event, not just a corporate story. The company's growth will influence alliances, markets, and security policies worldwide. Europe's defense industry is now a force to be reckoned with. The world is watching how Europe wields this new power. The Unterlüss factory is more than concrete and steel. It's a symbol of Europe at a crossroads. It represents a shift toward military strength and self-reliance in a dangerous world. But this path raises tough questions. Does rearmament make Europe safer, or risk a new arms race? Leaders must balance defense with diplomacy, and security with investment in society. Economic benefits from defense must be weighed against what's lost elsewhere. True strength lies not just in arsenals, but in the well-being and innovation of society. The factory forces Europe to redefine security for the 21st century. Is safety found in stockpiles, alliances, or the prosperity of its people? Unterlüss may be necessary, but it cannot be the whole strategy. As production begins, Europe must keep debating the wisest path to a secure future.